6 hustle 24/7. Street posts up in here, we spitting like the reverends. Life is a dice game, we roll you only sevens. Anywhere we stopping out till the money's pulling out. Only way is up, anywhere we going down. Now that all hail greatness, hip hop is still here. Put your wands in the air, the L Kings are here.
Was that it was an era where a lot of guys were not recording, so there was a lot of it's that era of battling on the street corner, freestyling, but a lot of the stuff was not being documented on a tape. So I did this tape, literally a cassette tape, and some of the guys that kind of became stronger from that tape, from your Emphatic Tabs was in that tape, your Jimmy Grinders was in that tape, your Archetypes was in that tape. So what it allowed, I think the culture, what it did to the culture was that for the longest of time, Joburg didn't really care what was happening in Cape Town. Cape Town didn't care about Joburg. Durban was still a little bit sleeping, you know? So the tape was able to capture all these different guys from all these different movements and townships and put them into this one cassette tape. Fast forward, then we opened this thing called RitualStores. And the reason we opened the RitualStores about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, was because once again, everyone was a designer all of a sudden. You know, I'm sure you know that era where you took a t-shirt and then you stenciled it and you said, I'll own my own clothing label. He comes from that era, you know, and then there was that, and then all of a sudden you started having everyone having a mixtape because Fruity Loops was now accessible and Acid was accessible, and there was this whack one called EJ Music. EJ Music, everyone was slinging EJ Musics, you know. Then all of a sudden everyone had project out, everyone was a record label, everyone was a fashion owner, but once again, there was no space where all these things can meet and like-minded people to meet. And this is kind of how the RitualStores is born. I don't know how many of you guys have been to that store. It's obviously closed now. But you know, when you got there, you could feel the culture because there was a recording studio in there, the clothing was there. You know, you met all sorts of, I'm a celebrity, I want to be a celebrity, I'm going to be a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? So it was a beautiful space, you know, for everyone to kind of collabo, you know. Fast forward, then we started feeling the need that, look, it's all well that there's this store and then it's this little cool thing for ourselves at the corner. And me and a friend of mine, Dominique Soman, decided, hey man, let's just put a stage on the street and then just spray paint the pillars and then let's see what happens. And then we did that thing, it was called Back to the City. The first one, there's about 3,500 people that rocked up. And a lot of them, speaking to them 10 years later, keep saying they were literally passing by, or they were at Brie and they heard a sound, or they were at What, or someone called, because remember there was no Twitter, so you couldn't see if it was trending. So you literally had to rely on a friend calling you and saying, yo man, where you at? There's this thing happening. Fast forward, it became the Back to the City that you guys know. But in the middle of that, 5 years ago, once again, started feeling that the culture was achieving because now, you know, guys are starting to tour overseas, guys now are winning multiple summers, guys are getting brand endorsements. But we never sat in one room and said congratulations to one another because, look, the culture comes from a space where it's always competitive, you know? So I thought, hey man, why don't we just get under one room and say, hey, you've done well, congratulations. And that's how the South African Hip Hop Awards come into place. Now the point of starting this thing here, obviously it's the first annual South African Hip Hop Summit, was because now we are awarding ourselves now, we're all superstars, we're making money. Some are millionaires, some are gonna be millionaires, you know, but there's those that are also not millionaires and are frustrated at home. And there's those who are trying to, you know, they've been trying to push, they've been trying to say, look, where do we seek these information? Where do we, you know, seek assistance? How do you meet X, Y, and Z? I'm sure there's guys here that have aspirations to do their own clothing label and they've always wondered, how the hell does Bhutan do it? Because he's everywhere, you know? So it makes sense because since I know him and, you know, I've known him from the start to kind of invite and say, hey, jump on board. I'm sure a lot of guys here, artists, keep saying, yeah, but this Casper guy, man, how's he doing all these things? It only makes sense to have his brains right here. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how all of these, that's the point of the summit, to get this information, for you guys to speak amongst yourselves. Collaborations can come out here, and hopefully in the future, we'll see world tours, man, for everybody. So, my name is Osmic, Menoe, and once again, thank you guys for coming.
Hustle 24/7. Street posts up and yeah, we spitting like the reference. Life is a dice game, we roll you only sevens. Anywhere we stopping out till the money's calling out. Only way is up, anywhere we going down. Now that all hail greatness, hip hop is still here. Put your ones in the air.